Hi guys, today we are going to discuss about the enterprise class structure in Pega. Basically, got an enterprise class structure who, that is basically used to build any of the enterprise application in Pega. So without ECS, we cannot actually build any application because the prerequisite of every application is the ECS. It's like building a house which actually needs a basement. So since how important is the basement for any building to stand up, that's how the ECS is exactly the prioritizes the building of any Pega application. So enterprise class structure basically consists of a lot of layers in that. Basic layer we get is Pega platform. So after the Pega platform, on top of it, are actually going to have organization layer. And after this layer, on top of this, we are actually having division layer as well. So on top of division layer, we are going to have unit and number of units, and on the top of units, we can actually put any framework layer. And on top of the framework, we can build a lot of implementations. So this is how the hierarchy starts from the Pega platform, and then followed by organization layer, and followed by division, unit, framework, and implementation. So let us see the same thing using a pictorial representation. Let me show you the way how we can actually build. So basically, this is the layer of Pega platform, which is going to be Pega. So all the roots or code which is reused in the entire applications of Pega will be dropped in the Pega platform. So on top of the Pega platform, we will actually build organizational layer. So we are going to have org layer here. So organizational layer or organization. You can simply call it as like uh, okay. And then on top of this, we are going to have division layer. Let's and on top of layer we have event layer, and on top of the unit we can build a framework layer. And finally, on the top of the framework, we will be having multiple implementation. It might be one or two or n number of implementations on the top of the framework. So this can be multiple, which can actually utilize code from the framework layer. So this is implementation one, and then followed by implementation two, and followed by implementation. So this is the structure and hierarchy of the ECS layer. This complete thing comes under an enterprise class structure. So the basic platform that we have is the Pega platform. On top of this Pega platform, we are going to have organization layer. So let's say organization layer is a it's completely like it's completely a general layer where the entire rules and code will be placed in this layer. So let us take, for example, take we are building an application for something like ICICI. Let us say ICICI is an organization. So if we are building an application for ICICI organization, so let us take it as an organization as ICICI here. So our organization here is ICICI. So ICICI doesn't have only one type of business or units or anything. So it has multiple departments, multiple kinds of domains, and lot of applications involved in it. So let's say it's having ICICI Bank, and it is also having ICICI Insurance. That's ICICI Lombard Health Insurance, and ICICI Mutual Fund, something like that. Okay, and etc. So these are the different types of domains that ICICI works, and we are building the application for ICICI. So it might be in any of the domain. Like if it is a finance domain, then go for banking application. If it is an insurance domain, go for insurance type. I mean framework and all. So depends on the business we are going to actually build our application. So this is the common layer. This is the ICICI, and on top of this, these are the departments in which it actually works. Like division is nothing but a department. So organization is ICICI here, and division is all about which division, for banking or for insurance type of division, or for something like mutual funds. So these all comes under the division layer. All right. So let us say if I take it as a division layer, if I'm building an application for insurance for ICICI, so the division will be like, so this is my, so if I'm building an insurance application, okay, so ICICI insurance. So this is the application that I'm building. So if I want to build an ICICI insurance application, whatever the rules or code which are present in this organization layer and division layer can be accessible to this insurance layer. Reason is like, for example, in the insurance application, what we normally use. Let's say like policy name, okay, and policy start date and policy end date, and let's say name, okay, name, and like age. So these are the different types of fields and properties that we normally get it in any insurance application if we take. So these fields, I need to use it in my insurance application. So if I want to use these fields in my insurance application, then I need to create the all these rules in all these properties. Not it's like all these properties I need to create in this layer of insurance. So what happens is, if I create all these things here, so the other applications, like if I build, for example, today I am building insurance application. For example, if ICICI asks me to build another application which is related to banking tomorrow. So what I will do, obviously, I will build I'll try to build another application of banking. So this is the second application. So parallelly, this application is going on, this application is going on. So ICICI internet banking application. Let's say internet banking. This is the application ICICI is asking, company to build. So what are the fields that we normally encounter in the ICT internet banking is like, let's say customer ID, like password and like name as well and age as well. They're the common fields, right? So here, if you compare insurance application and this internet banking application, both are sibling applications because both of these are built on division. Which division? So on the top of division, we have insurance, we have internet banking as a division. So in these two applications, if I compare, the common things are name and age here. Here also the name and age both are comparable. I mean, both are of same properties. I need here, in here. In this case, why I need to create the properties here and here instead of creating it here and here? If I create the same properties like name, age here, so I can use it here, I can use it here. I create the name and age properties here in the division layer itself. So these insurance application can access the same properties as well as banking application can also access the same properties instead of creating here and here, or if two applications fine. For example, they ask for the Lombard or mutual funds, or in future n number of applications they may come. So we cannot uh, use this practice of creating the rules. So as less as possible the rule is the application that we can say. So that is the reason we actually create that these properties which are required or which are general in division layer. So this is the use of division layer. So now we can build any of other application, like even if you build Lombard or mutual funds, name and age are common. So they in those applications also they can actually use these properties. So this is all about the reusability, how we can actually make this as reusable, as much as reusable for developer, instead of creating the extra code or extra rules in building the application. So this is how in the division layer we do it. So instead of creating here, we can also create in the organization as well. So if we create in the organization, so this can be used across entire applications of the top level applications which we are actually building up. But we cannot create all the properties in the organization layer. The reason being, so policy name, policy start date, and all these things, if we create in the organization layer, that is of no use, because these three properties related to policy is used only through insurance application, is used only by insurance applications. So if we create in the organization layer, there is no use, because this is used only by insurance application. So that is domain specific. So these three properties we can create in the division layer of insurance application. Similarly here also, I mean, so the internet banking as well, we don't need customer ID in the organization layer or division layer, because we are no longer going to use in our applications, because only internet banking uses customer ID property. So we are creating in the specific division layer itself. So things we actually use through entire applications or reusable things, or things rules which are in general, we are going to create in organization layer. Else we are going to create in the specific layers. Similarly, if you take units, so this is all about the rules and all. And now we are going with units. Suppose, let's say for ICICI, if you want to build an banking application for insurance application for US. Let's say, for example, if you want to build insurance application for K, let's say for India as well, India. So the process is not common between these three countries. The reason is like US has some separate process of applying the insurance, or some policies and all different. And for UK it might be some norms and policies or process might be different, and India it's different. Although the organization is common, but based on the country and based on these country specific things, so the process gets changed. So that is the reason, if that is the case, Pega has given option and scope called unit. So unit is all about which branch or which unit you are. For any specific unit, if you are building an application, you can choose a country specific application. For US, if you want to build, you can build it with unit layer, as you can build separate unit layer as US, and you can start building your application. And if the same way, if you want to build it for UK, you can choose UK as a layer, and you can build separate application, or just some separate standalone application for UK as well. So this is for UK, and this is for US, and this is for US, and this is for India. This is for US, and this is for India. So here, in this case, this is a unit specific. So you can build n number of unit specific applications irrespective of the countries. This is a feature given by Pega. So in the same way, framework. So now let's go to the framework layer. So framework layer is the generalized layer where all the rules and code is placed in this layer. So here in organization, division, and unit, we don't put the business logics and all, but in the framework layer, we are going to place the business logics which are generalized for n number of implementations. Let's say, for example, if we are building an insurance application for US, okay, for US, we are building an insurance application. So for that insurance application, we want to build a framework. A framework is nothing but it's a generalized code, like whatever the things that are reusable for the other applications. So it is also a type of application. Framework is also an application, but it consists of code and Pega rules and everything, which can be reused by other applications or extended. The code can be extended or the rules can be extended. So this is called framework layer. Suppose if I'm building insurance application here, so I need to in this insurance application, I need to show to the user a screen. Okay, this is for, let's say for example, this is the screen that I just want to show it. Okay, so in this screen, I'm going to show the fields like name of the person, age of the person, gender of the person, and policy ID, and that's it. Let's say it's like name, name, age, gender, okay, name, age, gender, etc. So this is a screen I just want to use it in my implementation one. I mean in this layer, in this layer. So this screen. So similarly, in my implementation, this is also one separate application. In this also, I want to use, I need to design this screen, and in this also, I need to design this screen. So what I need to do in this scenario, This scenario, I need to create the screen here. I mean, in this application, I need to create this screen here. I need to create the screen here. That means in three applications, I need to create this screen, these properties, this field, the flow and assignment, and all these things I need to create in three applications. So if I see the rule count, how complex it is, right? I need to create almost around 10 to 15 rules if I combine in three applications. Like if I need 5 rules to create in this implementation, if I want to create the same thing in this layer, I need to create again five. Total 15 rules I need to create, like section or properties or flows and flow actions. Only all if you need to combine, you may need to create 15 to 20 rules. So I think this will not be a good practice, right? So instead of creating in this specific implementation here and here and here, the same section, if we actually create in this framework layer, okay, we create in this framework layer, the same screen can be reused here in implementation 1, implementation 2, and implementation 3. I hope you got my point. This is, if I create here once, this application can access the screen, this application can access the screen, this application can access the screen. Need not to create the fields, properties, sections, anything. Just create, if you create in the framework, the same things can be reused or referred or referenced. That's how the importance of the reusability is all about. So the specified things, for example, other than name, age, and gender, if you have other properties, you need other properties like if you talk in terms of properties. So here, if you take uh, like medical, it's not like medical or you know previous medical info. You need previous medical. This is an insurance application. If the insurance application is asking for previous medical info, that is specific to this one. I mean this layer, implementation one. Implementation one needs this property. So this is the same property cannot be used here, or I mean implementation 2 or implementation 3. In this kind of scenarios, you can create here. I mean with a specific implementation, because this property needs only is needed only in this application. So it need not here, no, not required here, not required. So in this scenario, you're going to create your rules or properties in the specific implementation layers. So generally implementation IMP1, IMP2, IMP3 are implementation layers where your code cannot be reused for extending or for reusability. Those rules and code are specific to that application itself. You create some code here, this is specific to this. We cannot reuse anywhere. You create your code and rules here in this implementation 2, that is specific to this implementation 2 only. You cannot extend this application anymore. But if it is in case of framework, we can extend this framework layer to n number of implementations. So that is the reason, that is the importance of framework. It's all about the reusability in terms of Pega or in terms of any other programming platforms and all. So that's how the importance of enterprise class structure. So organization, if you are building an application for any organization, if that code or rules or properties or whatever, if you want to reuse the entire application, then we'll be creating in this layer. Okay, this is the importance of organization. And in case of division layer, if you are building it for any particular division or department like finance department or HR department or insurance department or any kind of department specific things, if you want to create, so you're going to use this division layer. So if you create the rules in the division layer, so that can be reused entire divisions or in any specific division layers. So when it comes to unit is all about a unit or a branch, or a, it's like how many branch. For example, if I say ICICI, it is in n number of countries like India, US, UK, or n number of countries. So if I want to build any specific application for US, so I can choose unit as US if I'm building. So that is how this forms. Let's say, for example, we have taken this ICICI, right? So if we are building the insurance application for ICICI, then the class structure would be like this: ICICI hyphen. What is the organization is ICICI, and the division, for example, if you're building it for US hyphen, and then followed by unit. If you are building not US, it's like insurance hyphen, okay, and followed by region hyphen, followed by framework hyphen work. Okay, this will be your layer which Pega is going to generate. So this will be a framework class. So this is how enterprise class structure is designed and reused in entire application. This is the base. If you don't design a good enterprise class structure or class structure for an application, that design goes wrong, and that will be a huge impact for the entire application, because we need to analyze the complete business and even the future of the business as well, because future the organization may extend its scope. So we have to keep it in mind: extension, reusability, flexibility, and the design and performance and everything we need to keep in mind, and we need to design enterprise class structure. So this is very much important and a very basic fundamental that is required to build any big application. It's not a basic fundamental thing to learn, but it's a basic fundamental thing to build any application. Basically, this kind of enterprise class structure will be designed by the lead system architect, any organization for building any kind of application. So as an LSA, we have to think all the things: future scope, flexibility, reusability, and extension of the application, and providing the external service to other applications or communicating with other applications. So in that scope, we need to actually think and implement the ECS. So this is how we do it, Becca. So that's it from my end to explain you about this ECS layer and all. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much.